Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Michael
And Emma.
Buy Books in a Bookstore in Unconventional Ways. Today, we are taking book recommendations from strangers, and we are in the Strand in New York City again, one of the biggest bookstores in the world, if you believe facts, which I don't...
If you believe facts.
Listen, it's a news age where you just don't know what to believe anymore, and we have to find some strangers to ask for book recommendations from. How this works is we're going to try and find 3 strangers, ask them what's one book they would like to recommend just out of the blue, and we're gonna look for them in the bookstore and buy them. And I think we should set a price limit at this because your boys are working.
Yeah, let's say like no more than like.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do a number at the same time. It's gonna be like a cute little
40
bit.
works.
40?
40
Okay.
works, no more than-
So our price limit is at 40. And I'm doing it on my channel. Emma's gonna do it on her channel. So please click the link down below. And let's find some strangers.
I have so much anxiety.
I'm already. Hi, and we found our person to give us a book recommendation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Farah.
Farah. And what kind of books do you read?
I like to read fantasy.
Fantasy? Same. This is a good recommendation I've got coming. So what book do you have to recommend to me today?
I would love to recommend The Name of the Wind.
The Name of the
by
Wind by
Patrick
Patrick Rothfuss. I have heard of that so much, but I have not read it. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
so
great.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're filming? Ha. Okay. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss.
You're covering the entire title.
The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Alright, so we found our person to recommend us a book. What's your name?
Sapphire.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this. And like, what kind of books do you typically read?
I typically read like sci-fi, kind of fantasy
Okay,
novel.
cool. I think we're in the section for that, so that's
Yes.
perfect. And what is your book recommendation for me today?
The Darkest Minds.
The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken?
Yes.
I have heard of that before.
Yes, they just
Okay.
came out with a movie.
They did. Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Did
The
you
book's
like it?
always better, but the movie wasn't bad.
True. Okay. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for your
no
recommendation
problem.
today. Let's go get it. Hey everybody, it is Michael from the future, and I'm coming at you from my bedroom because they didn't have The Darkest Minds at the Strand. They had the sequel 2 books, but they didn't have the first one. And I'm buying it online now. Since Sapphire mentioned the movie, I am buying the movie tie-in edition since I already have the regular hardcover edition. Here we go. Add to cart. So we have found our final person to give us a book recommendation. Thank you
Hi.
so much. What is your name?
I'm Adam.
Adam. Nice to meet you, Adam.
Yeah,
I'm
nice to
Michael.
meet you.
We met off camera, but we're just going to pretend it is. And what kind of books do you like to read?
I read a lot of sci-fi, fantasy, graphic novels, and then I read a lot of literature because I teach.
Okay.
So I guess just a really wide diversity because of my job and then also my personal taste.
This is good. This
Yeah.
recommendation could go any direction right now. So what book do you have to recommend and why?
Okay, a book I really loved. I loved it enough. I found it a couple years ago on the street in my neighborhood.
Okay.
And it was a pre-copy that publishers send
early
out to
edition?
people.
Yeah.
Early edition.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much that after I was reading it, I emailed the woman as her first book
Aw.
and started had a brief talk back and forth. She's wonderful.
Okay.
The book is called Breath of Earth,
Okay.
and it's by Beth Cato.
Okay. Rutherford. All right. Thank you so much for your recommendation and
absolutely.
letting us just stop you in a bookstore.
No problem at all.
Have a great day. Thank you. Future me again, they also did not have Breath of Earth at the Strand, and so I too am buying that on Amazon. Here it is. It's got an interesting cover, and it's the first of 3 books in a fantasy trilogy. So add to cart. My cart total is $17.26, and the book that I bought in store was like $17.50 or something. So that adds up to math, 34 something. I stayed under budget. So it was a nerve-wracking night. I'm a little sweaty and glistening, which isn't cute if you can't tell, because what you guys saw was the people who did agree to give us recommendations. What you didn't see were all of the no's we got and all of the Emma and I looking at each other and then looking at a person and being like, you do it. No, you do it. So it was very awkward and uncomfortable, but I feel like we both sort of fell into the hang of it and weren't as affected by no's towards the end. And I'd like to say a great thank you again to everyone who agreed to do this. I don't know my thoughts towards it. I haven't read the books yet, but I do think it's interesting. I wasn't in the YA section and still got a YA book recommendation. They knew, and thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you and potentially give you updates with these books if I read them. And yeah, give it a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I need to get my sweaty face out of here. Bye.